This episode of The Devinwade Show is brought to you by Ace the Engineer, the only other audio engineer I trust to mix The Devinwade Show. If you want your stuff to sound professional, make sure to hit up Ace the Engineer, unless he's with like Beyonce or Patti LaBelle or some shit like that at the moment. Follow Ace the Engineer on IG at Ace the Engineer.
Well, boys, we hit the jackpot this time.
Nah. Ha. Pop out the cut, go retarded. Trap star, I be flooding the market. I got it in what I started. Respect if you hate, cause some niggas departed. I keep my circle on point for the target. H to shooting regardless. They pulling gimmicks, but shit as an artist. I came out the bitch while they started. I'm a big dog, baby girl, and I bite. Just wanna fuck for the night. I put the gang and the fam on the flight. Always said if I did do it right. I was down bad, but I kept that shit tight. Get it in, get it out, what you like. You bring a friend, I'ma bust this shit twice. She ain't nasty, then I gotta swipe. Roll up a whoop, pour a spite. Only pop me a perk and my mood feeling right. I had to double the price just to bring that shit back at the end of the night. Every day praying for better in life. I just pray that my cheddar be right. Came out the gutter and hit for a strike. Shit they doing, I been did it twice. Smoke on pressure, I just got the order in. Loyalty meaning me more than him. He was down bad, pitching fast, so I bought him in. We trap by the Vin, my little shorty in. Glock, sticks, drums, hit, weed, perks, rum, shit. Devil, he all on my shoulder, admit. I like it, he got me.
DJ Chelsea Lee.
Hey, what up, though? Welcome to another episode of The Devinwade Show. I am your DJ Chelsea Lee. We're going to get this started with the host, DevNasty.
You alright, Chelsea? What up? I am your host, DevNasty, a.k.a. Dangerous DevNasty, a.k.a. Choke Your Mom Out, a.k.a. Choke Your Pop Out. And today we are on a special episode of The Devinwade Show. You know we got to keep bringing this back. This is the Talk Heavy mashup right now. You know what I'm saying? So, we're going to jump right into this, man. Of course, to the left of me, we've got the Water Kingdom herself, Waleska D in the building. Across from me, we have the person who's at some point probably going to jam a mic into Puerto Rich's face, and that is our DJ Chelsea Lee. That was weak.
That's slow to a jump off.
That was weak. And of course, the Ninja Man over here himself, Puerto Rico's own, Camden's own, Puerto Rich. And you know, we breeze past that because we got to get to the traditional intros of the Talk Heavy podcast. Take it away.
I'm gonna be quick. Yeah. It's the Prince of Hunting Park, the BBW lover, the pregnant woman slayer, Mr. 2 push-ups a night, the man built in the image of God himself, Slice Maximus.
It's the North Philly legend, Strawberry Mansion's finest, the BBW hater, the pregnant woman creator. They call me Jesus' first cousin. He go raw cause the condom keep bussin'.
That ain't why he go raw though. He's just nasty.
From North Philly to South Beach, cause that's about as long as this pipe reach. You should always fuck with a chick that stutter from the get-go, cause you might bust your nut before she say no. G_winner.
Yeah, you already know what my stance and everybody else. And everybody else on my podcast does not stand by the words of GB in the that's kind of filthy.
If I told you what it meant, you would agree.
I don't want to hear it. I don't know. Listen, he's a smart guy. He tries to manipulate. He gonna try to manipulate the words of what it meant. We know exactly what it meant.
Let's go, Slice.
You want to get into this?
Let's go.
All right, shout out my nasty girls behind me. He's looking and smelling all good.
Cheekeries.
Sniff them cheeks. Nasty.
Oh my God.
We're not gonna waste our time. Y'all be serious, man. Let's get into it.
Don't stand up.
Don't stand up.
Don't stand up.
Knock that camera.
Not next to Porter. Please.
I'm accustomed to the cheeks. We've been doing this. Cheeks is just.
We were telling Slice not to stand up after he sniffed the cheeks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Oh yeah, now Slice Guy's still over there with that shit. They already came in with that mean Harlem Heat intro.
Right.
They remind me of what was the wrestlers' names?
That's them.
Yeah, Harlem Heat.
What was they
I don't know
single
the
name?
other dude name. It's Booker T.
Booker
Yeah,
T
Booker
and
T
the
and
other
them-
nigga.
Nobody, that's fucked
These
up.
the Booker T and this the Booker T and the
But it's
other nigga
fucked up that niggas
podcast.
don't know the other bull is only Booker T. How can niggas know Booker T but nobody know the other bull?
Booker T had more swag.
Fuck it.
I think he did the more shit that like stood out. They used to talk crazy.
Right.
It went solo.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
That's for the wrestling niggas. The niggas that don't know about wrestling. Fuck y'all.
Let's get into it, man. It's the first half, man. As y'all know, the first half, man, we're going to talk about the question of the day. I got to give a disclaimer about this because I have to tread lightly on the verbiage that I use when talking about a topic like this. But I'm going to get into it. So, COVID just start opening back up. Not COVID, but people going back to work. The vaccine is out, people going back to work. So, it's a gentleman who emailed saying they recently got back to his corporate office. And he said there's a known gay guy in his office just recently approached him. He told him basically he thought he was a handsome man and that he didn't know if he went that way, but he was asking him, did he? He politely told him, no, I'm not into that, and that was it.
Respectful. That's respectful.
He was
He
respectful.
said respectful.
Yeah, he said he was respectfully. He told him he wasn't into it, no disrespect. But he feels as though this guy is constantly looking at him now at the job.
Okay, hold on. He feels as though
He
the
feels.
dude. Wait.
He says the guy's looking at him,
So,
but
so
you
we
know how
gotta be
it is.
clear.
Okay.
Does he feel like the guy is looking
Or
at
is
him
it
because the
happening?
dude said something to him one day? So
The
now
message
every
says
time
Phil.
the dude looks at him,
Yeah.
just as conversation, he assumes.
The message says Phil. I mean, from the message, he said he feels as though he keeps looking at him.
Okay.
throughout
Well,
the day.
now
So-
he thinks that because before it happened, he probably didn't feel that
Yeah, he
way.
probably didn't feel it. I don't know. But now he feels that the guy's looking at him. So he went to a coworker, a female coworker, and she told him that he should just take it as a compliment. Now he said he don't know how to feel about that as it being a compliment. But he doesn't know what he should do next. Should he go to HR or human resources? He
can't go to HR for that.
No, this is in the message. He
Yeah.
he feels as though he's looking at him. He feels it's almost like sexual harassment.
Well, it's not. Well, you can't. Well, it can't be sexual harassment.
He's just
because
being
number
hypersensitive.
One, exactly.
Okay.
The guy went up to him and told him that he had interest. So now he's on high alert every time this man. He's gonna feel like. I think what it is that he feels the energy of the guy, and he
Now,
knows that
'cause he knows.
exactly.
He already knows the bull wants his dick. So now,
Bull wanna fuck you.
Bull wants to listen. So listen, Bull already made it clear he want to fuck. Right?
Fact.
This is a fact.
This is a
so
hard
now,
body.
so now when he sees him looking at him face to face, even when he's asking him, whatever his name is, Jerome, can I borrow a
Jerome, you
pencil?
got some paper clips.
In his mind, he doesn't hear Jerome, can I borrow a pencil? He hears Jerome, can I borrow some dick? That's what he hears.
Yeah, a man can't ask me nothing made of wood. Fuck a pencil.
So Dev, are you saying it's like that thing where like almost like how they say like diseases, when you find out, when you know, it's like it kills you. The stress of knowing kills you. Is it kind of like that
It
thing
is
where like now he
exactly
know
that.
that his coworker wants his ass, I guess? Or
Right.
hold on, we're not gonna
You know something that's real though? That a realization that us as men have never ever thought about? That there's probably somebody in the world that wants to probably fuck all of us.
What the fuck are you talking about?
They're probably there's a man somewhere that finds you attractive.
Oh, okay. So
What
what
There's
is
a man somewhere that finds you attractive.
No, I'm not. Yo, this nigga is terrible.
It's 1,000% because I know that there's people that say Dev looks good. I'm not gonna state them,
Men-
but men say that Devin is
No, they
attractive.
Zoom in on his face. He blushing.
Yo, Waleska is just trying to set some shit up. Yo, Wally on some bullshit.
That's a compliment.
No, Wally on some
Man,
bullshit.
don't forget. No, Wally is just, it's cool for women to be gay. So they be just so easily trying to make us gay. No, it's
We're
we
not
don't
trying
we
to
don't-
make you get. We're just saying that
And-
there are people that find Devin Wade attractive. They find Richard Nunez very attractive.
No, let me
Because you know, there's
quick,
somebody
no.
out there that might be like, oh, you handsome.
No,
Ain't nobody ever say that to you?
Oh no, I'm glad you asked. 'Cause I'm about to, I don't got no problem like sharing me and my real life with the people because I just don't hold no punches. I don't live my life like that, right? I don't got no skeletons in my closet.
Oh,
so
shit.
for your
Release them,
homie,
baby.
He's about to talk heavy.
No.
This is an exclusive.
I'm about to talk heavy with an exclusive story people never knew, never heard, and I've kept it
I don't
low.
like where this is going.
I
don't like where this is going.
Yeah. I don't like it neither, G. But it's on the strength of your homie. I don't want your homie to feel
away.
alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Oh, that's not my homie. It's a fan. I don't know this
Okay, all right, well, listen,
fans is our homies, man.
Our fans is our
They
homies.
family.
But look, I had a situation, right, with a person in my community that chose to change his gender. So
Transgender now.
change gender. I'm not sure if they went the whole whatever they did, but definitely looked like a full woman.
Right.
Right? And
Decepticon.
even gained like almost like notoriety and became kind of like popular, the name, for just looking like a woman.
Right.
Right? And looking like somewhat of what people were saying a decent
Woman.
right, better than like whatever. But anyway, I think I just came home from jail. I came home from jail.
Wait a minute. This
No,
story going
no.
real
Yo,
left.
this shit
listen.
going left.
Oh, no, it's just a real.
This is good for the fan. This is good for the
real story.
fan.
Let's
This
go.
a real
Go ahead.
situation that just things happen because we living in a crazy world. So I came home, mind you, I was being stared at by a person who I keep looking, I see looking. I'm like, the person looked it
Like a female.
like a female, like a decent looking female. Next thing you know, I'm being asked a question or two. I'm being asked a question. Next thing you know, numbers get exchanged, right? No bullshit. Like an hour, maybe 3 hours later, I think. It had to be like the same fucking day. I get a call from the person. The person tells me straight up,
I heard this.
like, listen,
I'm a Decepticon.
I don't know if you know, like this the person we was just talking. What, but I'm originally this and this is who I am. This is what I did. And I said, oh wow, I was blown away. I was,
Don't be blown.
Don't use the word blown.
What I'm gonna use blown away.
You were
in this-
surprised.
in this-
I was taken for a loop. I was surprised.
No, I don't like loops. I don't like loops. I don't like blown away. I don't get any of that. I was confused. I was simply, I was simply confused at that moment. I'm like, whoa, right? But instantly, I had to instantly put respect on just the honesty. It wasn't like, okay, you didn't do it immediately, which could have been cool too, because we could immediately would have, whatever. But I respected it though. I didn't get disrespectful. Like, you gotta understand. Listen, I grew up with that shit in my household.
Right.
My older brother, gay, all his life, been gay all his life. We love him to death, man. It is what it is. We way past the bullshit. When we was young, we had a little turbulence, but it is what it is, And I don't judge people. I don't I know I got my rules in my household for how I conduct my stuff, my business with my kids, my sons, and just my views
You think
on
he
my
shouldn't
life.
go to human resources? What do you think he should do?
Absolutely not.
Nah, you don't need to go to human resources.
can't go to human resources.
First of all, if you just feeling like the nigga looking at you, like, don't get me wrong, that's like, my situation. If I ever run into this person, you know that the person is whatever, gay, and they might have told you, like, even though I think that's I don't know, I can't say it's like wrong, because I've thought about that situation. Like, what do you do in those scenarios? Because you're trying to respect this community and this lifestyle that people chose. You don't want to be judgmental, right? Only God judge. We try and be respectful out here and kind of coexist together. But what do you do when a person takes it upon themselves to not question you properly on your views and your lifestyle, and then just come to you like that and say, hey, I think you're handsome and you a man? Because no disrespect to the gay community. Like, again, we try to talk about issues like this in a serious manner and in a respectful fashion, for everybody. But what does the straight man do in that predicament where he feels kind of sort of disrespected awkward somewhat because it can almost kind of like be a little bit belittling to
But
somebody.
the thing is, he just he's hypersensitive.
Right.
Because as a woman, I'm sure we've all been through this. You find out a guy likes you, whether you're at a job or a certain situation, and then you start noticing that this person is looking at you more after you've heard down the grapevine or that person like has flirted with you. And then you're more hypersensitive to it. So no, he can't go to HR. There's no physical proof that this person is looking at him.
He's not harassing
He's
them.
just feeling like now, okay, this person that is gay is watching me. He just has to move and try his best to not pay attention to it. It's like, let's say you want to buy a car, right? You want a Toyota RAV4. When you go driving, all of a sudden you're going to notice all these RAV4s because you're hypersensitive to seeing it. So you can't complain about a person unless he's coming up to him and keeps continuing saying, I want to take you out.
That's a violation.
So number one, the dude might be looking at him. The way I'm looking at Chelsea right now, I'm looking at Rich to talk to him.
It's impossible not to look at him.
But he's looking at him. Now that he knows that he want to fuck him, no
He's
matter
in his
what,
head.
he won't let it go.
Right.
He can't let the shit go in his head, even though Bull might have accepted it. The reason why he can't go to HR is that would open up a dangerous box for us heterosexual males. If I holler at a chick at my job and then she says no and I say I respect that, and then afterwards anytime I make eye contact with her, she can go to HR and say, I told this dude I'm not interested. Maybe even if what if she's gay? She's like, I'm not interested in men, and now this man is looking at me. That could be a dangerous motherfucking
Maybe
thing
he's questioning himself now.
But I'm not saying that. I don't want to even play with Bull like that. I don't think that he's questioning himself. I'm just saying once you open that box, it could backfire on us being heterosexual men, where we start now we in a Me Too movement situation just because I'm looking at a girl that you know what I'm saying?
But then he didn't say, but really quick, he didn't say like he's physically looking, right? He said the word, remember we said that he said the word I feel like so but that's something that you're
he's
feeling,
internally going through that.
And
exactly.
let's talk about what niggas really do, because let's keep it 100.
Yeah.
A nigga will holler at a chick will tell him, yo, I'm not interested. I only date women. And a nigga will come back with, it's because you ain't never had this dick. Like, I'll change your world. I'll make you, you ain't fuck with the right niggas. Yeah. So if that's the case, and we gonna make it an HR situation, a lot of niggas is getting fired from their job immediately because niggas always shoot 10 shots when a chick says I'm lesbian.
I think again, I'm going back to what I originally said, just saying like I think it depends on the person. Like because and that's why I'm saying like where's the boundary for like if you are into whatever you into, for you just guessing who to walk up on.
So
and
that's a bias. So what he did is legit. There's a term for that. We actually learned that at work today. It's legit a bias. So he made the assumption that you're going up to a person rather than asking questions. You know, you just automatically assumed.
Nah, it seemed like he did ask the question.
No. Because the first thing he said, because where he fucked up at, he should have never said he was attractive.
He was attractive.
That's where.
That's a fact.
Hold on, no matter what order, niggas gonna be mad. If the nigga walk up to me, I'm gonna be mad.
That's true. But I'm just saying, if he would have never did it that way, because that's what Rich is trying to say. Like, where do you draw like the respect level? Right. He should have just asked, like, hey, like, I don't know, I don't know how you would ask a straight man.
A nigga gonna be mad no matter what.
That's what I'm saying.
Tell you why though? Yeah. Let's just call a spade a spade. Most men are homophobic. Most straight men are homophobic. Nobody wants to say it.
I mean, listen.
But a lot of straight men are homophobic.
I mean, to a certain extent,
To a
certain extent, I think ways that we, morals and just ways that we live and things that we stand by would kind of like, I guess, get a stereotype to be that to a certain extent. But I don't really think that in every case, like that's really like what homophobic is. You know what I mean?
Phobia means fear. I don't fear nothing.
Exactly,
so it ain't no fear. That's not
exactly.
Yeah, it gotta be a fear.
We just got things that we don't stand for.
Right. If I don't
agree with.
If I don't like eating peas, that don't mean I'm scared of peas. You understand what I'm saying? So
might just find them disgusting.
It's not like it's not like you sitting there. You making it sound like a nigga saying like I'm scared of dick. No, I don't want no dick. Niggas just don't want dick. Period.
I want to add Slice. Because again, I'm trying to compare his situation to mine, where like I felt like slightly disrespected and slightly in an awkward position when I got that call and the person said this after we had already had a conversation.
I would feel disrespected.
I would.
Right?
I'm gonna tell you why.
I wouldn't.
No. Listen, to a certain extent, I did. So that's why I quickly nipped that in the butt, though, respectly.
In the bud.
Why do you feel like you were why do you feel
Nipped it in the bud.
Huh?
Why do you feel like you were disrespected?
Nah, listen. I didn't really feel like I was.
No, because I'm curious of why because even when the person addressed it to you and stated, maybe that person was fearful of how you would have reacted in person, right? And then just decided to like, I'm still going to give them the opportunity to make a choice and I'm going to give them this information.
I get
but
that.
I just want to know what part you felt disrespected because.
I didn't really, I mean, not wild
disrespected as a man.
Not wild disrespect, not wild disrespected like that, but in the midst of that conversation, I had to think like, damn, but you already like sparked up an initial conversation with me. And it's kind of like,
what does that person do?
As a man, you got to think like, did you think I was like,
that's the disrespect.
Yeah, but
But you never know. You never know.
Hold on, stop. Hold on. Let's be clear. There's a bunch of niggas
that look
are
like
walking
niggas.
Around.
Thug.
You keep touching that wire. That's why it shit sound like electro.
They look
all
like
crazy.
thug niggas and they be gay.
Niggas be hold on. Wait. Let's be clear. Niggas look like thug niggas. Niggas act like thug niggas. They might be thug niggas.
And they
right? They shoot niggas. They sell drugs. They trap. They suck dick.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
That's a fact.
No.
Y'all don't remember The Wire?
Let's be real. Fuck The Wire. That's a TV show.
No,
There's
this is real
niggas.
people.
I'm saying that's true.
There's real niggas in Camden City, in Philadelphia, all over the place that's running around, and niggas is talking about he the big homie, he this, he that. Guess what? Some of them niggas suck dicks, bro.
Yo, I got all right. So, bro, listen,
That's crazy.
I got a cousin, right? I got a cousin, right? He probably like 17, right? He dance, you know what I mean? Very respectable young boy, like nicest person in the world. But sometimes he suck niggas' dicks, right? So it's like, am I supposed to just like not love him?
That's a hell of a shout out to you.
What do you do?
Absolutely not.
Like not love him because niggas teabag him every now and then. It's like, yo, like so. It's like I just, I'm super not homophobic. I love him. So I just tell him all the time, like, bro, listen, just use condoms and don't moan loud. Like, I just, you know what I'm saying. So it's like because listen, no, because I feel like
your cousin gonna watch this episode like
I feel like right, and this is my problem with the homosexual community, right? I feel like that y'all feel like y'all are above being joked on.
They too sensitive, man.
Y'all too sensitive.
You can't say no fucking word.
You can't. It's like if people are supposed to be treated equal and we all regular, right? We all regular, right? So it's like, yo, then I should be able to treat you like I would treat one of my homies. I should be able to talk to you the same exact way I talk to everybody. So it's like, yo, so because you fuck niggas, I'm not, you not.
I can't
like,
make no
above. I can't joke
I
on
have a
you
lot of
because
gay friends, and it's not like that. I have a lot of gay friends, and it's not like that
I grew up in a gay home.
But it's not like that for a lot of gay people. A lot of gay people understand, and you can make a joke or say certain things, and it be cool. But then you have some gay people that aren't, because I've seen people kind of think they're hypersensitive to it. They might be just going through it. They might not have been gay their whole entire life, and maybe they're going through something where they are hypersensitive to people making comments about them, because you have to be comfortable with your sexuality for people to make these certain jokes where it doesn't affect you. But some people might not be all the way comfortable in it yet to where they can make jokes about it.
Plus, hold on. We got to remember, too, that a lot of the stuff is really hard to tell the temperature of what's going on in the world for real.
Right.
Because there's always agendas. And what I mean by that is there will be people that will be speaking on behalf of the black community, taking offense to things the black community ain't even really offended by. You don't understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, right now is the hypersensitive world. So
Right.
It makes it appear that everybody's so uptight about things, but a lot of times people aren't. Or these bigger powers to be stir the pots to make everybody start getting mad about things that they wasn't even mad about.
Because to me, it's abnormal. I grew up in a household. I had 4 homosexual uncles, right? That had like live-in boyfriends. Like they boyfriends lived in the crib. So it's like, for me, like the way that the new world is now, it's like it was regular for me to like joke and you know what I'm saying?
I mean, listen,
so it's like
But
regular.
they're also old enough to not care. Some people younger being gay, they still care. As we get older, all of us being gay,
Whoa, what?
being gay or not being gay, I could be sensitive about things, and I'm not gay because I'm not comfortable with how I feel about it at the moment. You talk to any 40-year-old man, he's really not going to care about shit. You talk to any 40-year-old woman, they really not. You can call him, yo, you. He gonna be like, bitch, fuck you. He don't really care. But you talk to like a younger gay person or someone who's not comfortable yet, or at that stage where they don't give a fuck, they're gonna feel a different kind of way about it.
I think that it should be a balance and a flip side. Because, seriously, because look, if you want to be free, right, in what you doing in your lifestyle, if you gay, and you want to be free to be able to walk up on me and say, hey, I'm gay, are you? Because I think you're dope. Like, then you definitely need to be able to be free for another motherfucker to walk up on you and make a gay joke, I guess.
I agree.
Because it's a flip side to it. I'm just saying you got to be fair. Like, the community can't say, oh, yeah, nah, we should be allowed to walk up on any man that we think at our own personal discretion.
I wish my friend was here to talk for the gay people. I don't like
No,
this.
but that wouldn't be cool either because one person
Can't speak for
That's a fact.
Yeah, but we can't. None of us can really speak for the community. We're not even part of it.
Oh, yeah, but we're not speaking for them. We're speaking for us.
Yeah, we speaking for regular men.
We speaking for what the man has to say
Yeah, but
to
we're
that
also
dude.
saying how we think that other people feel.
No, but we're saying that everybody doesn't feel that. That's a fact. I don't need a dude to speak on behalf of the gay community. We're giving a dude advice on how he should feel about that dude is not attacking him. That man does not need to be reported because he's expressing.
Yeah, but
that
if we
he's
had that
attracted.
man or a gay person in here who could say, hey, I've done that to somebody. I'm not coming off disrespectful. This is the only way to do it. At least we could have the other person's side of the story.
But that's not that other person. That's where I. That's where I beg the difference.
His question, I don't feel like, right? With the way that you described his question, it doesn't sound like the guy was being disrespectful.
It don't.
No, I'm not saying that, but Portis, I'm not saying that. Portis said he felt disrespected that guy did that.
And I would too.
No, slight. I said after
That's
looking
different.
back. I said after looking back when I got the phone call and the guy called to tell me like, oh, hey, look, I'm really a fucking man. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like this shit, I ain't with none of that.
You have to tell me that before we exchange numbers.
I did look back on the initial conversation because we talked for about a quick little 3 to 5 minutes, and we actually had a conversation. And I felt a little sting of, damn, you kind of like played me for.
But you know how many gay men he probably got from doing that he wouldn't have got that Porter. It wasn't Porter, but somebody would have said,
Nah, that's
"Oh yeah, we
deception
cool.
is deception.
Oh, we
good." Because it doesn't matter how many times he's done it before.
Right.
It don't got nothing to do with me. So
It
I feel
doesn't,
like,
but that's
I
how
feel
he
like
has to
in your
play it.
situation,
Yeah, but what he's saying
I would
is-
have felt how you felt.
His
because
angle is, so what he's saying is, no matter what, yes, that might have been his best results in his past. Yeah. His angle is wrong from the beginning.
Yes, right.
That's
Absolutely.
what they're saying. So his angle is wrong. It might work for him, but his angle is harmful to other people, and not for nothing.
Is it only harmful to the people that aren't gay?
Not for nothing could get him hurt.
Listen, let's talk about this scenario. Let's talk about this scenario, right? What if, right, this person that goes and says, hey, I'm going to shoot my shot, because it's basically what you're doing. You're shooting your shot. You decide to shoot your shot, and let's say the other person doesn't take it as well as an understanding man like myself. I'm an understanding man. I joke a lot. Me and my dogs joke hard. Like, so ain't tripping about no bullshit. And like Dev said, we not homophobic over here. Like, but I can't judge another person for how they live their life and if they're a little sensitive or whatever. What if a person would have replied with disrespect? When you come and you say, hey, I think you're handsome. Can we go out? Now, what if a man would have said, now what if the other person would have said, go out, like it says some
I'm sure
wild,
he's prepared
disrespectful.
for that. I'm
But
sure they've already maybe been
I
through
don't
that.
think-
You can't just assume as a gay person, every person you come to is going to be okay with it. You have to, in the back of your mind, know somebody could get offended.
Right.
This could go
And
left.
I
this
hope-
could go
Can
right.
Can I take this? Can I take this left for a second? 'Cause
And I just hope that- I just hope that
I
they
gotta get
do,
some help,
because-
and I know this kind of like tilting it a little bit, but I think we need like a gay word dictionary, because I say a lot of words throughout the day that's very inappropriate that I don't even know inappropriate. Like I say tranny, and I almost got the show shut down for saying tranny, but I'm trying to think.
Because there's proper words now.
So this is what I'm asking. It needs to
Right.
be a list. Like, I can't call a man a bundle of sticks, right? Because that's like the ultimate offensive word.
What
for-
does a bundle of sticks? I've never.
You'll figure it
Okay,
out.
It's the
but go ahead.
definition for.
Oh, yeah,
I can't
but
say the word. I'm
continue.
gonna say the word.
Okay,
I can't
okay,
say
okay.
So I'm trying to be
The F-
politically
the
correct.
F word.
If
Oh,
this-
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
if y'all wasn't in the room, I would have dropped the F bomb
Okay.
probably by now by accident. But I'm saying when we grew up a certain way, these was the typical words that our parents
Yeah.
used.
Yeah.
So now that I'm still older, these are the words that I know. So we almost gotta.
You gotta
have some type of-
relearn.
We gotta have like some professional development.
You have
So-
to evolve.
So
with the
every
times.
word that's I'm trying to evolve, but then it's a borderline of sensitivity. They got every letter in the alphabet. It's L, B, G, B, Q, elemental P. Like it has to be some limits on. You got to get off our back.
All right,
So we
so
talked about
this is one of those things. Those whatever you call a dictionary, it exists. You could go on the internet if you actually give a fuck about that, which most of us, to be honest, don't.
Right.
So we don't. But you could find out everything you need to know about that tonight, if that's what you
On
want.
which words to use?
What you
Every word.
Hold on, tonight. Now,
I'm curious.
As it does now. What I will say is, cut niggas some slack.
Yes.
It's a lot of
My
new
only
shit
point.
going on.
It's my only point.
It's a lot of new shit going on. There's infighting even within those letters of what should be used, the pronouns
Right.
and all of that,
Right.
and it gets confusing. And it's
does.
definitely going to be confusing for my son. So give people a
chance.
understand there's a learning curve here. You know what I'm saying?
Real quick, while we here, I want to ask the group, I want to ask the gang something, right? Do y'all think it's a difference between the gay person who mentally and kind of like remains knowing that he's gay, meaning he knows he's still a man, just a gay man, versus the transsexual, I guess, the transgender, I guess, or whatever the proper name is. I don't want to use wrong terms. I don't want to disrespect anything or anybody. But
Transgender is the proper term.
The man who now believes that he converted into a woman. Because I think,
What's the question? You gotta like.
do we think there's a difference? Because I do. I feel
Yeah,
there's
it's
a
a
difference.
definitely a
And the
difference. It's a
reason
difference.
and the reason why I say that is because like G said, I grew up with that shit in the household, right? Where my brother is like, gay, and my brother, I think it's safe to say my brother never had like a sex change or anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
No, but he did
But he
get-
did
He got boobs. He got his
boobs,
butt and all
drag
that.
shit. Like
Yeah.
definitely did like drag. Like
So
drag.
he feel like
He
feel
definitely
like
identified
he
as a-
identifies as a woman.
At one point,
So
yeah.
So your question is, should we view them differently?
No, I'm asking, is there a difference between, because you got some gay people that never do that. You got some gay men that remain manly.
Well, because
the
you have
entire time.
you have two different people. That one person that wants to identify as a woman. So we have those people that they legit are transgender. So for example, remember that actress that turned it,
Right,
transgender
right.
and then now is a male, but wants to be identified as a male. So yes, there is a difference because they don't want to be identified as a woman anymore. They want to be identified as a male.
Yeah, it's a
Vice
big
versa.
difference.
So if a man wants to be identified as a woman and does those things to change their body
Right.
to become that, that's what they want to become.
The reason
So
why I asked,
they want to be, they're doing all these changes so they can be identified now as a woman.
the reason
But-
why I asked, and because I've been around again, I know like family of a friend who was like more of like the manly gay type, just remain man, like we shake hands, what
Right.
up, super respectful, yo, what up, and I just feel like the way he kind of like conducted his lifestyle, I would never see him like jumping out the window and just coming at a person without really knowing for sure that was a person from that community.
Because you got to understand, because back then it was different. Nowadays it's so open.
Versus the men who now convert and believe that they're a woman.
Because not all gay men want to be the feminine ones. Some gay men still want to remain, like my gay friend, he don't like men that are really feminine. He will never date a guy.
Hold on. Wait. This is the part where this starts to get confusing. And I said for people at home to understand the learning curve. Number one, I don't believe that those people consider themselves to be gay. It's like
she said they called them something. What do they call them?
The gay guys that are manly are called bears. So,
I don't know nothing about that. No.
Like female, like type of gay guys, and then there's more like manly type of gay guys that are called bears, and they look, like the whole straight male, but they're totally gay.
Yeah, I'm talking about when people feel like they were at birth assigned the wrong body. You feel what I'm saying? Right. So it's like there's one thing where it's a dude that's just like, no, I'm a dude. I just am attracted to
males,
dudes. And then there's people that's just like, no, I'm not. They feel like I'm a woman inside of a man's body. You feel what I'm saying?
This shit is confusing as fuck.
Now, also that does not mean that person has to change their physical appearance to be addressed as the other pronoun, and that's where it can get confusing for the person who's seen it a certain way their whole life. So what people got to understand is everybody is trying to be respectful. The conversations we having is trying to learn something, but you got to remember, people 40 years old. If for 40 years you see things one way and then there's a new world that's coming in, you got to give people time to adjust, and you got to understand that a person might be talking to you and call you miss when they were supposed to call you, oh, hold on, I'm not miss, I'm sir.
Right.
Well, I see a female body. You feel what I'm saying? So that's where the pronoun thing does get real confusing.
And that's do the research.
And no, not the research. No, wait.
What I'm saying is, if you don't do the research, you don't know, even about talking in verb and
no. I want to be clear, because that's why I want to make sure that nothing I ever say gets changed, especially as
I'm not changing what you say. No, I'm saying on top of that, people don't know. Like we're saying the
let me
gay
finish,
dictionary.
Chelsea, because I want to be clear. Chelsea Lee can stay just like she is right now. You could put a lingerie on. If you say your pronoun is sir, it is sir now. What I'm saying is, if I look at you and you're in lingerie, you look just like you look in a modeling picture, and you had told me earlier to call you sir, I might forget because you're in all your glory, woman. But you said, Dev, call me Mr. Don't call me Miss. I'm saying I might fuck up a lot in the day because you physically have not changed anything.
I agree with
so
that.
I just want to make sure that doesn't attach to the next thought.
That's all. I agree with that. I'm just saying in general, for us, when you say give people the benefit of the doubt, not knowing, if you don't go online and Google these words and these terms and understand, hey, if you see a guy that has a wig, but he has mustache right here, if you don't do the research or have gay friends around you, you might not know what to call that person or how to address that person, separate from what you're saying. I'm just saying, if I didn't have any gay friends, I wouldn't have some of the knowledge I do on, like, how they say, how they speak on how some men are gay and they don't like feminine women and X, Y, and Z. I just have an intel on that because I have that around me. Some people don't, they're homophobic or they don't have that around them. They might see somebody and just be like, oh, that person's gay, just off the bat. And they don't know that person could have transgender, this, that. There's so many different levels to it.
So do you think, hold on, I got a question. So you think if you see a person with a mustache but their hair is straight, that some type of research on the internet can make you see that person and you know what category they're in?
He could be a pimp.
No, stop. No, but what I'm saying is, so what I'm saying is.
No, I'm saying that's confusing, though.
But I'm saying there's no person you could know or a study you could do to know that. You have to talk to that individual.
Right.
That's what I want to, because this is such a touchy subject that I have to be so careful what I align like what my thoughts are compared to what my sister thoughts is, compared to my brother's thoughts.
But some people might not even know what a drag queen is. They might just say, "Oh, that person's gay."
No, but what Devin's trying to state,
I know what he's saying. I'm not disregarding anything you're saying.
It's just
I'm
more
saying I'm
just
making
like
my own
asking-
statement in general. As far as if you see a man, you're going to be like, "That's a man." If you see a woman that has titties, you're common sense.
That's our natural.
I'm just
That's our
saying in
natural
general,
biases.
when
That's
it
our
comes-
natural bias.
Yes, of
say,
course.
I say fuck all the research. You just treat everybody as equals. You treat everybody the same, regardless of
You do.
what their letter is. My thing is, ain't nobody above these jokes. Everybody
can
getting
get these
treated
jokes.
the same. Like if you heterosexual, if you gay, I talk to you the exact same way. So it's like it's not a disrespect thing. It's like, you know what I mean? You just gotta know the person.
But
you gotta
see-
talk to the person.
But see, when we say that though, GB, we got to be mindful that you open up a door for now. You know, if you saying the jokes got to be cool, then that's like the gay community. You know, being able to joke too, and some guys ain't with us, but some guys. I mean, for you it's cool,
it's cool.
And I'm not saying that I have a problem
A
with it,
gay
but I'm
guy
just
come up
saying
and say, "You
for
got
some
tight
men,
ass,"
hold
you
on,
gonna be mad.
because that's where we're
That's not a
going.
joke.
For some men,
ain't joke.
but that's their type
He
of
could
joke.
be saying it's a
That's-
joke.
but that's their type
not
of
a
joke.
joke.
Like,
All
hey,
day.
your jeans got room for me in them. That's
a fact.
That's a fucked up joke, but I got you. That's a joke. But
he
he's right.
just gotta be ready for the shit I'm gonna say after that.
That's what I'm saying. Every man not even with that.
Right.
Not with that. Like, look,
Man, not
I'm
with
going
that.
to be kind. I'm going to be respectful. I'm going to be courteous the way I do any normal stranger that I come across in society, man or woman, right? Because that's how I do. Like, and you know, that's why, again, it goes back to my experience. Like, I got to go back to my experience where I had that tad bit feeling where, like, that 3 to 5 minute conversation that you initiated, and I don't know, I don't want to say you wrong, but it's like,
It was uncomfortable.
it gotta. That's why I'm asked about a boundary and where's the way to find out and to know to be respectful
I
on
don't
both
think it's
ends
any
because
right way.
the minute
I let this half go long. I want to be honest. I got to get ready to get out of this half.
the minute you push up, you open the door. The minute you say I'm gonna shoot my shot, I don't know if he's gay or not. You open the door for this man to be able to react the way he kind of like as a normal human would react.
And which would be something.
Who knows? It depends
Right.
on the person.
But
the
so you
person
can't- but we can't even say like a normal human-
A man might could take that like, yo, you think I'm gay?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You're calling me gay.
But
But
a
at this
normal
point,
human-
a normal human needs to grow to the point.
Right.
Grow to the point where it's like,
Exactly.
dog, that shit don't make me do nothing.
Right.
That nigga looking and saying and thinking that about me, that don't make. That's about as much effect on me in reality
Yep.
as a dude trolling me online. When you start to grow past that, it's like, and even worse, the dude online is trying to offend me. This person is just
not trying.
stating something that's on their mind, and guess what? As long as I can tell them this ain't what that is, and then they can stop at that point. Man, as far as me, that we good money on.
We're
that.
gonna get
I
out this
that.
quarter. I got a
think
quick
we
question
can
for the
do that.
Devinwade Show. Quick question for the Devinwade Show. Then we're gonna get out this quarter. 2 gay men are in a relationship. Who pays all the bills?
Whoever is the manly one.
No,
They
whoever.
both. They both.
They both men.
No. No, you.
They both men.
Yeah, they're both men, but gay relationships,
They
there's
both-
one
who
that's
pay
more
all the bills?
feminine.
50-50. They both men.
Yes, but in gay relationships, there's usually one that's more feminine, or one that plays the woman role and one that plays the manly role. That's what I've been trying.
But he's
I
still a
say-
man.
But not all of them
I
are
say-
like that though.
Not all of them, but a lot
say-
of them.
I
But or if they both like homie, regular, like just
then
like.
they go
like,
halfy.
I said,
Or
I said,
sometimes it just doesn't even matter. One might be the breadwinner and be like, "Hey, I'll just take care of all the bills."
Shouldn't all relationships be like that?
I say they have a push-up contest.
Yes, whoever.
That's it. Yeah, we gotta get out of this corner. That's it. No, that's the order. That's the end of the half.
And whoever does the most take majority of the bills, and the least person with the least push-ups, he takes the least amount
They
of bills.
already know who's the more manly one. They don't got to do a push-up contest.
That's the end of the first half, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to the second half of the Talk Heavy podcast, Devinwade mashup.
Hey, man, that was a heavy quarter, man. It was
Super heavy.
Super heavy.
I got some jokes I ain't get off, but
Yeah, I had some stuff. I was sitting silent. I didn't want no smoke.
So he's just trying to get us banned.
Trying to end the podcast. Here you go. All right, so this second half, man, I'm going to get into a very serious topic. The question is, can you love your stepchild equal to your biological child?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I have a stepdad, and he loves me just as much as he like. I don't feel any. I feel like he loves me just as much as he loves his kids. I see him go hard for me just as hard as he goes for his own kids.
let me ask you a question.
Hold on.
What?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Let it go. No, let it go. I'm trying to get everybody input.
Yeah,
Why
get
ask the
everybody
question?
in the room first.
I agree. I have the same thing. I stepdad treat me like his kids, his own kid, and I do believe that it's up to the parent. In a way that if you did raise that child, like you can't help but love that child like another child, just like my little cousins or whatever, like, and their friends. They come over, they all get the same love. You know, when we were little, it's all the same love, unless there's some kind of turmoil or something happen or come into the relationship later when you're older. But I definitely think even if the child is not yours, you can love that child like any other person.
Porter, what's your
For
thought?
sure.
Yeah, I think definitely for sure. Like I had a ex, one of my exes, and I'll mention just this one because she had children and she had a couple children, like 3 children. And yeah, they was like mine. It was like mine. You know, like I fell in love with my relationship with the kids, you know, and I wasn't going to treat them no different when I had my kids over there. It was love. And I just got to say that, like, people got to understand that when you take on a person and like relationships and things like this, and we need to like really like understand this, because this is part of the problem in the world we live in, where we like a lot of people looking for perfection. And a lot of people like want to like take the good from people and leave out the bad, or leave out the things that a person needs to work on. You know, when you take someone, bro, you taking the whole package deal. It's a package deal, whether they got a child, whether they got a disease, whether they got, you know, breathing trouble, asthma. It's people that get their significant other deal with all kinds of shit, right? And this is a package deal that you take when you take these people, you know, and you decide to love someone. You say, hey, I love you, and I love everything that's a part of you. And those children, that's the first like reflection of a person that you say you love.
Yeah, exactly.
You have a child, right?
I do have
Do you think you could love your stepchild more than or equal to your biological?
I feel like, yeah, I could. I feel like it depends on the point of which you meet that child. And like, so in my family situation, my dad basically raised my sister. So he's watched her grow, he watched her sprout. So he had that like growing up connection with her. I feel as though like, so my daughter's only 13 months, she's a year old. I'm still with the dad, obviously. But if me and him were to not work out, I don't think I could see myself being with somebody who didn't love my child as if it was their own. I wouldn't want to bring my child up in that household. So
and we talking about children. I don't want them to get this missing. We're not talking about nobody that's 18 and 19 telling you shut the fuck up when you come. That's a different conversation. We're talking about like children.
But we talking about, all right, so what we got to think about when it comes to shit like this is that a lot of times when I see people that don't believe that that's possible, that's more of an ego, it's something with their ego, meaning they're saying in order for them to love something, they have to see themselves in a thing,
Immediate
in something.
connection.
Yeah, so they have to see themselves in something to even love it. That's more of a problem, I think, or we all got character flaws. That's a character flaw in a person if they have to see something, see a reflection of themselves in something, in someone to love them, right? So think about it like this. There's a bunch of people walking around raising kids that they think is theirs, that's not theirs. Right. And they love that kid 100%. They think it's their kid. So it's not this thing that people try to say like, no, when it's biological is something different that a person can't understand. If that was the case, bro, it's so many people that would feel disconnected to their kids. Because guess what? That ain't your kid, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That chick fucked some nigga and got pregnant. That's not your kid. You feel what I'm saying? And so that part is false. And also, you know, just certain people just have that nurturing ability, like you guys being coaches and things like that. You're in situations where you might have to take kids in. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you don't treat them no difference. I know cases for 100%. My kid that comes from my nuts could be a complete dickhead. He could be an asshole. I could not. I know motherfuckers that don't like their kids. I'm keeping it 100. Like that. Like especially when they grow up and be like, "Yo, I don't fuck." If that wasn't my son, I would never fuck with him. But fuck with his best friend. Be like, "Yo, your homie. I wish you could act like this nigga because your friend." They be sitting there talking to the friend saying, "Can you push my son in the right direction?" Because they get along more. So even in a household where there's a step kid and your kid, you could be closer to the step kid than your own kid.
Wait, I didn't get your answer.
I think that it's a matter of time, though. It's a matter of when I meet the woman, right, how old the child is. So it's like if I meet a woman and she has a 10-year-old son, right, I have a 10-year-old son. I have to get to know this kid, right? So it's like the first day right off the bat. No, I'm not. It's not going just from right off the bat be the same. It's impossible, right? I have to get to know this kid. I have to be around him. I have to build a relationship. And then over time, I feel like that happens. But just right off the bat, just meeting somebody and just getting in a relationship with somebody, it's impossible.
Well,
That's
let me
why
say
I said
this.
the time.
Yeah, I was going to say,
really
I can agree that this is the difference. When you have a child, and I'm sure anybody in here with kids, as soon as that kid come out, you immediately love them.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Immediately.
Absolutely.
Immediately. With step kids, you have to develop a relationship. You got to be around them. You got to learn to love them. You can grow to love that person, right? I can't answer the question because I'm totally biased. I love my daughter more than anything on earth, right? So it's just a bias. Any person, any human, myself,
That's
all of the
honest.
above. That's the honest thing. But I'm going to force y'all to be honest. If you have one child, 2 years old.
Hold on.
No, Dev. We're not letting you spin this narrative.
No, get off me.
No.
Get off me. You're not going to interrupt.
Because I want to back up to something.
Okay.
I want to back up to something, right? Because this is important. You said when the kid come out, you automatically love the kid.
Automatically love your child.
Right?
When you
so
think,
I'm going
when
to
you
say
think it's
something
yours.
controversial.
When you think it's yours.
When you think it's yours.
I'm going to say something controversial.
Go ahead.
Since it's because you think it's yours, you don't love the kid. You love the idea of the kid. You love the idea.
That is yours.
You love the idea
That
of
is
who
your
this
biological.
person's going to be. But when you meet a step kid, people don't have ideas of who they are. So they don't. So you have to learn the person in order to see whether you fuck with them. But when your kid is, you know how many people throw boxing gloves in their kids' bassinet and be like, he gonna be world champion one day. They have this fantasy in their mind of who this kid's gonna be. They don't know if this is the same motherfucker that slits your throat for your insurance policy,
Right.
which happens all the time.
I'm
Right?
gonna get back to my theory. I'm gonna cut you off. I gotta cut you off.
I
Let me
got
tell
you, but
why.
I just want to
It
be
is the
clear.
theory. So
It's
it could be the theory. The idea
the
of
kid.
biological, though.
Idea of.
So a lot of times when you look at that biological child, it has your hair, it has your eyes, like you said, it could be self-ego. But I'll give you the example. If you hold your 2-year-old biological child hanging from a cliff out the window, and you have a 2-year-old stepchild in your hand, and you have to choose one, or you're gonna drop both of them. 5, 4, 3, 2, make a decision. 5, 4. You got 5 seconds.
said
Make
that.
a decision.
I said
you want to
that.
let everybody die? Make a decision.
all
You got
die,
5
though?
seconds.
We
Pick
all
one.
dying.
Because I couldn't live with my
We all
sister like
dying?
that. I couldn't
What's
live with my
hold on?
sister.
Can, before I answer this question,
No, you take
where
it
his
too long.
mom
You got
at?
5 seconds.
Where my step
You
kid
hold
mom
it.
at?
Listen, you got 5 seconds.
Where
boy.
my step
No,
kid
you got
mom
5
at?
seconds. Your kid's hanging. You don't have time.
If that's the case, we're all dying.
You know
Yes.
what? No, you're all
It's
dying.
not. We're all dying.
We're natural survivors. We're not all just throwing ourselves off the roof.
Yeah, but you're not gonna kill your wife's kid.
You're not killing them. You have to choose one.
You're not gonna do
You're gonna
that.
drop both of them.
You're not gonna
That's
kill
not
your.
realistic.
It is
In
realistic.
the situation when you're there,
You're not
you're gonna
gonna
save
kill
one.
In
your
a
girl's
situation when
kid.
you're there, you're not thinking in your head, oh, this is this person's kid, this is mine. You're like, these are children.
So how you gotta save one?
How old is the kid?
No.
They both two. They both two.
Check it out. You know this happened in a movie,
That
right?
matters.
If you had to think life or death, you're not in the head. Oh my God, this is that.
He lucky he said they both too, because I was thinking about my 20-year-old. I know he's gonna look at me and be like, Dad, let him go.
Wait, so I got a question. So you save one kid and you go back to your wife with only one kid. Could you live with yourself knowing that you came back with one kid? She's gonna be like, "What the fuck happened to that
Listen,
kid?"
I'm gonna feel horrible. Don't. Hold on. I'm not. Let's.
He's not. He's saying that you have to.
You have to make this
a
decision.
Oh no, I get it, but the decision is.
If I drop both kids, what's the difference? George is on drop both kids.
I was trying to hold on to the kids until my hands went.
So I
didn't say, yo, I said fuck your kids.
Let me say this.
Man, I'm
Let me
leaving
say this.
both the kids on the balcony and I'm diving off.
If I could have,
y'all politically correct, but y'all not making a
so
decision.
you saying you would rather have $0 instead of $50?
Zero kids.
No, you can't call kids
You rather have
dollars.
zero kids than
You would
than
just
one
rather
kid.
have zero instead of half.
You can't call kids dollars.
I'm asking, but you rather have zero kids instead of one.
No, what I'm saying is a person is going to hold on and fight until they shits go.
No.
That's what's going to happen. So since you want to speak realistic,
If we in a
right?
helicopter,
since
if
you're
we in a
going-
helicopter,
no,
and I got one parachute,
No,
you gonna say we all gonna just die?
Let's
No,
speak.
we all gonna jump together.
No,
Yeah, and
right,
figure it out.
Correct. And since we want to speak realistic, what's going to actually happen is, Slice, in realisticness is whoever ends up on the strong hand is going to end up being the one standing there. Because if you holding two kids with each hand, one of them hands is just going to go first.
I'm
so
ambidextrous.
the reality is you're going to hold those kids until one of them hands go. You are not going to take the wife also that you love, right? A kid that you have a bond with and everything, and be like, I'm gonna let go of my wife's kid, right? And then just save my kid. You're not going to just.
Well, I'm going to do that, but I don't know what the rest of y'all. No, maybe you're right. I don't know.
You're just going to make sure your kid's in the strong hand.
But how you gonna do that?
That means you love your kid more. That means you love your kid more. Hold on, let me switch
it. It depends. I'm saying what Porter said. It depends on how old these kids are.
They both 2.5.
Not only that, but I think it goes back.
hard.
I think it goes back to like what Dev said. I think Dev made a major point when he said about just what people come from when it comes to like nurturing and caring, and that's why Dev's decision is obvious that he couldn't throw another kid, off, because I kind of like, my mom was a foster parent. So besides caring for us, I watched my mom care for multiple children. I watched my mom raise mad kids, different kids. Like that was just her thing. Like,
And she can love them to death, Porter. It's not about how much you love them. You can love a person to death. This is not about how much you love them. It's
a final decision.
The final
I get it.
decision of your biological or what you think is your biological versus stepchild.
And you said you gotta let one go, right?
Or both of them going to die.
You ever saw The Good Son?
I heard about the movie.
Good Son with Macaulay Culkin. Hold on.
He was the biological son, but he was the piece
What
of shit.
happened was the biological son was a fucking piece of shit.
That's true.
And the foster child was the cool.
Was like, yo, he a good kid.
Right.
And they let that motherfucker, she was like, and she was fucked up over it too. Cause he's sitting there, mommy, please, you don't do it, mommy. She was like, nah, my nigga. This one right here deserves to live. He pure heart.
In the words of Devin Wade, that's a fucking movie.
Listen.
So hold on. So that really happened in the movie? That same scenario?
Yeah.
Wow.
She let her biological
She let her biological son go because he was a
That's
shit.
why it's a movie.
That's the name of this clip right here, The Good Son. Wow.
I'm just saying, in those scenarios, I think it's impossible.
Wow.
I don't want to say impossible. That's a tough one. It's impossible. I hate to say it because any girl I date that got kids now not fucking with me after seeing
They're not fucking with you.
It's over.
Because they already know you come home from a hunting trip, anything with them.
Don't get me wrong. Like it's hard. It's hard, and it's a little awkward. I get it because you want your children, your biological children. I get it, Slice. How you love your daughter. I love my kids. I love both my sons like that to death. But I also want to like embed in my sons that love is a powerful thing, and right now, I just want to touch on this before we go anywhere else. Like, love is something that for real, especially in our communities coming up in the ghetto and coming up from where we come from, so much, just fucked up shit. Like, love was missing, So I just feel it's important. That's why I went back to what Dad said and us being able to learn how to nurture and give love because love is really like the new gangster shit that we need to like get on and understand that this is what really like, you know, and in that aspect of it and in the aspect of us just being adults and being able to be respectful and amongst one another and coexist, like love, bro, to love, you know, to love another child, to love these children that ain't yours, and, you know, implement that in your children too, to like, yo, if somebody need help out here, you know, and you can give them that help and it's not going to take anything away from you and tear you down and destroy you, go ahead, do it.
I think the original question with the step kid thing is more is larger than that.
All right.
I think it goes back to the village that's missing. That's the reason why I'm gonna talk for black people. Why black people is in the situation that they're in, and I mean when I say black people, you already know I'm talking about Puerto Ricans. You already know it. Is
they black.
The community not raising the kids? Everybody
Together.
just being like.
Right.
All I worry about is me and mine.
Yep.
It's the selfish
Well,
nature.
as long as all you worry about is you and yours is in more danger. Because everybody in every house is just worried about me and mine. Nobody's worried about us as a whole community. And that's why it's more dangerous for your kid to walk outside. So it's that mindset that puts your kids in the danger in the fucking first place.
Big facts. That's
Big fan. We gotta practice camaraderie and, you know, teach our children and communities how to, you know, coexist with each other, man, and be able to do it in a respectful fashion. Like I want somebody, if my kid come out, my kid doing something he ain't supposed to be doing or doing some shit where he could get hurt, and you the neighbor and you say, hey, don't run in that street like that. Hey, don't do that. I'm not tripping on no adult like, yo, why you talking to my kid like that? I'm like, you heard what she said,
You're
right?
mature. I was a school teacher, and
Right.
me and G,
Take that.
me and GB, we've run a youth organization, and over the past, 12, 13 years, we probably seen thousands of kids.
Yeah, thousands.
And some become family members. And you watch the immaturity of babies having babies. You can't even talk to their kids a certain way without it being drama. That comes
And they're
from...
not
I've experienced that too.
It comes from a
I've
level of
experienced
maturity.
that too.
And so I don't know what kind of mentorship program we got to have for the parents, but you already know if the parents is behaving this way, a lot of the kids are about to grow up
what
this
I
way.
like, what I like to tell the parents, you know, because I've been working with children for the last decade too, over a decade, dealing with the parents too. What I like to tell the parents in a respectful way is like, yo, if you really have an issue with like me being around your child like that and the person that I am, even when I have to kind of like tell them right from wrong and be an adult and be like a mentor, what I'm supposed to be, then you might just really want to redecide where you place your children at. You know, and who you place your children around. Because a lot of times when they leave kids with you for football practice, right? All that shit, you're now in control of their children for that time period until they come back, right? They want you to do everything that's right to protect them and keep them safe. At the same time, you should be able to keep them right when it comes to respect, when it comes to how to deal with adults, when it comes to how to remain in a child's place. Because some things that the parent allow at home, I'm not allowing at my before and after school program.
Right.
I'm not allowing my staff
That's a fact.
to be called out of their names by an 8-year-old and a 7-year-old because mom don't have no problem with it at home when he get mad and say some slick shit to you.
Right.
You know, and I've had this conversation, you know, with even people that work in this field, like state workers, who the people who will come when it's an issue. Like, yo, listen, we have to have somewhat of an authority and control in these facilities and these groups and programs, even y'all football practice, in order for it to work. Or guess what? The children end up running it.
It's about respect though. So it's like around me, my none of my players don't curse at all, but they may curse at home around. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure everybody in here, you might have a child that might respect you a little bit different than they do their own parent. You know what I'm saying? So it might be stuff that they get away with their parent, but when they around you, you don't see it You be like, yo, he's a terror. You be like,
and look,
shit, I don't see it.
And that's cool. That's cool because that's all we can ask for. Hey, you with me 8 hours a day, and if me and you gonna be fly and had his respect level, because I come from where you come from, I know what you know, I talk how you talk. Like, then let's keep it like this. And guess what? In the long run of that, and in the future, that when that kid actually starts to mature and actually starts to get to a point where he comprehend more, he might actually be able to pick and say, yo, I'd rather be like a GB than be like my dad.
That's a fact.
Who I used to curse the fuck out because he allowed it. I think I'd rather be like a GB, and I would rather have my children like a GB.
Something else too, when it comes to like the parents, it goes back to the same thing I was talking about earlier. It's the ego. The ego is what leads all of us, and I mean everybody, or probably everybody in this room at some point have gotten into something, a beef or issue that's based off of ego. The parent could know their kid is wrong, but their ego of, she yelled at my son, right? Be strong on that. Don't talk to my son like that, even though I saw your son doing some shit that's going to get his ass locked up. He over here spray painting people's cars. I yelled at him. Now you talking about then you come to me. You don't talk to him like that. It's like, that's the problem. You really just flexing. You not thinking about the impact it's having on your kid. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're actually reinforcing to your kid that they kind of like invincible out here, especially when those alpha parents in the neighborhood, everybody know like, oh, the so-and-sos don't play. Oh, his dad a real stepper. So now nobody could talk to his kid, right? So he running around terrorizing the neighborhood because niggas is worried if you say something,
it's gonna
big
be
so-and-so is going to do something about it, man. And that would be letting people astray, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I want to know, before anything, I want to know what Christian do. What'd he do? You know what I'm saying? Now, if it turns out to be something that's unproportionate with what it was supposed to be, then that's different. You feel what I'm saying?
But kids should respect all adults anyway. So it shouldn't be like you said. You could go out and act a fucking wreck, and you think that this elder is not going to reprimand you because you at school.
Right.
Like, no, you don't call your mom a bitch at home, and you don't call your teacher a bitch at school.
I think we need to
Period.
update the definition of what a deadbeat parent is. I think that there are, like they say, you got deadbeat dads. I think it's deadbeat moms too. I think they just live in the house.
Wow.
Facts.
I mean, listen. That's a crazy conversation, and I think it'll take a whole nother podcast for us. But we could like just chime in on it briefly. But it's definitely like an epidemic, bro. Because from just again, this goes back into like the conversations of breaking that home up, man, putting us against each other. All the things they put into place to cripple us. All the free shit for us not to really want nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We took, offered us all this free shit for us not to want anything at all. And then a lot of that shit, it leads to like poor performance. It leads to just a whole lot of settling. It leads to like, and that shit leads to like just negative vibes and negative energies, because now you really got to still coexist in the world with the people who actually are living their life and trying to do more and whatever. And it causes just like, to me, I see like sometimes comparisons, because I work in a facility, not only just with parents, but just with people, period. You deal with how you live your life, what you want out of life, what you trying to achieve, how hard you go for it. Then you got people that may not go as hard. You know what I mean? They may be settled somewhat in life. They're in the other shit that's really like not hustling type shit, whatever. And it gets compared and all that shit. So it's like the parent, I just feel like the mom at home, like not only just the mom, the dads too, the deadbeat dads, all that shit. Like we gotta really like work on ourselves, man. Children are not a fucking are not a tool for a monetary tool. Right. Children are not a fucking a way
income
to,
tax, earn income credit check.
A way to come up, and for a long time, I mean, for a long time, because we got to start talking about the realities and the facts if we ever going to get to the root of the problem and find a solution. For a long time, that's really been the reality in our communities, that people would go, you know, a lot of these women knew that they would be provided all these different things if they go have this child. Not only that, but if the dad work, you're going to get double, especially if you don't fuck with him, because you could put him on the motherfucking joint and whatever. Like, so it's just the negative things, man. If we was back to like the root of the thing when you was actually in love with a person and you saw yourself actually having an offspring with this person, and this the reason you was having a child, I think you would probably nurture and love this child to death because you had it on the right reason.
I know the solution for fixing these kids. It's two things. Number one, we got to educate them, and you got to make sure that they understand right from wrong. And then you got to have one special weapon. Sometimes you got to whip a motherfucking kid ass right here
listen,
in the Devinwade Show.
listen. I'm going to keep it 100. I grew up off ass whoopings, yo.
Me too.
You turned out just fine.
Listen. I grew up
Perfectly fine.
Now
I grew up off ass whoopings. My son grew up off threats of ass whoopings and never getting them.
Like, you know what I'm
saying? Do you think, because this is something totally, do you think that we became softer
yes.
with the ass whoopings?
Because we don't want our child, well, I don't have children, but like people that have children, they don't want their child to go through what they went through. So they like my sister used to get her ass whooped. Like my mom used to bring out the extension cord. My sister has 2 kids. My nieces, Gemma, I have Gemma, but Harper and Luna. And I've never seen her, like, even spank the booty, hit the hand, like...
They get weaker when they get...
Yeah, I'm like, now it's a talking thing, like, hey, Luna, don't do that. Hey,
I never beat my kids.
I have never spanked my kid either.
Once I had to pop my son and my niece, my oldest son and my niece, I had to pop them once, and then once other time, my baby mom called me. I had to go out to my oldest son's house, and I just picked him up. Like I had his head. I picked him up by his head, and I had him up like this, talking to him like, yo. And no. I love my son to death, man. Shout out to my junior. That's my fucking heart. I just wanted to let him know that, listen, we a village. Me and your mom is a team, and it's for your best and for your benefit. Because to this day, I remember my baby mom calling me 2 days later and was like, yeah, he really was like, it worked. Because he was like, my dad never picked me up by my head like that off the ground. So it was like, but I never really had to beat him. I think we kind of like, because we came up off the ass whooping. I told you about my brother getting beat when I lied on him and all kinds of wild shit. He got beat. Yeah, he got beat with this. I think so, but I think also with the ass whooping, it needs to be proper communication. If you're not communicating,
that's a part of an ass whooping.
If all you do, listen,
because everybody,
if all you do, and I think this is going on in a lot of homes.
Yes.
Where like even we're human. I've done it for a while. I've been trying to like check myself, even with my younger son, and just what we dealing with. I be having to check myself because sometimes I get too frustrated, and it's like I'm just yelling. It's everything is discipline and everything is like motherfucking like, just reprimanding them, whatever the case may be. And I think we got to be mindful and we got to make sure that it's love in the mix with that. We got to keep love in the mix and communication. Give out the ass whooping, but come back and communicate why the ass whooping was given.
Nah, that makes a lot of sense because I'm definitely glad that I got ass whoopings, but then I don't know whether I really got the what do you call that? Like the harshness in me to do what needs to be done.
Yeah,
because you're traumatized from it.
Yeah. So, and that's the part where you figure out was it bad or good? So like this is where it is a difficult situation.
Listen, somebody said it's the slave mentality. They said we're so far back tradition from being whipped that we basically carried on to tradition for years and years and years. So
the love is missing, bro. We gotta lead with love. I get so many kids that I came across. I'm in Camden, bro. Same shit, Philly, same shit. I'm getting kids that when I say, yo, you can't do that here, they looking at me, they're like, what? What? Whoop-dee-whoop. And it get crazy to the point where like, I gotta like get with him and say, no, we not doing that. We don't do that here. You not doing that here. But then I also gotta double back and say, listen, man, I love you, man. I love you. I care about you. I care about all y'all here like y'all my kids. Like, that has to be said because it makes a difference.
It does.
When you tell these children, like, yo, because
you
guess
love
what?
them, yeah.
They might not even get that at home.
They don't get it at home.
That's
It's
a
a
fact.
hard, you want to know what's a hard thing too? Like, so it needs to be more communication on the discipline. But I feel like in some cases it needs to be less communication on certain, I don't know if it's disciplinary things, and this is just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like people today explain themselves too much to their kids.
That's a fact.
I find myself explaining myself too much,
That
where
too.
I remember mom being like, "Cause I said so. That's why you can't have
"Cause I said
that.
so."
That's why you can't do
Now
this."
you're a
And
fucking negotiator.
exactly. And he'll feel like he can ask too
Weigh
many
in,
questions.
weigh in,
on
because
too many.
now you
he
open
keeps,
the box
He keeps
to the
rebuttaling.
communication.
He keeps rebuttaling based off of the fact that there was no. Cause I said so, and him learning that from the young age, because I respected it with my mom by a certain point that it was like, cause I said so.
But don't you think that some kids in this crazy world, all these things we see in the news, the kids, the bullies,
Deserve an explanation.
No. If they got maybe a one-time ass whooping, because I remember one time I got a bad ass whooping, and I honestly don't even know why. I think my mom just had a bad day, and I had to wrestle.
Look, we're not gonna put that on mom.
That sound like
Chelsea
you.
did some bullshit.
No,
Chelsea did some.
I did do some bullshit, but a lot of things I felt like I did it didn't deserve where I ended up getting ass whooping, because like he said, it wasn't explained later why I totally got the ass whooping. I just felt like she was angry and I didn't do my homework. The teacher called and it just added up to me getting the worst ass whooping of the fucking year. But I think that some kids do deserve, because I got bullied, and I'm sure the kids that was bullying me in school, they didn't get the ass whooping at home. And I seen a video on YouTube in other countries where this kid stole from somebody's backyard. They tied him to a tree, and 3 of the men whooped him with a piece of a tree. And the community whipped the kid with the tree and said, "You don't steal from us." It was like they were stealing from a store in like Jamaica or something.
They saran wrapped
And-
into a pole.
No, not that one. They was whipping him, and they said, "Wait for the cops to come." And this kid is screaming. Not to say that was the right thing to do, but that kid that stole and the whole community
He
came
won't steal
together,
again.
he won't steal.
So-
Chances are he won't steal again. Not saying it's okay, but I'm saying some kids need some sort of fear
True.
instilled
And he
in
might-
them in a young age.
And he might just be a thief.
He might.
He might
That's
just
a
be a
fact.
thief, but also I would bet if we could do this one day, if we bring a psychologist on here, would argue against that and say that a lot of kids in the school is bullying because they get beatings at home. So
It can
heard
go
that.
both ways. But the kid that was bullying me, I know that he was a foster child. Those weren't his parents. So, and which I learned later. I'm not going to say
already had
his
trauma.
name. So he already had trauma. But in middle school, he was talking about me like, "Oh, you ain't got no chest. You ain't got no ass. You look like," saying all these things. At the time, it hurt my feelings. But later when I looked at it, I said, my feelings was really hurt, and this kid had some sort of hurt going on, and that's why it came back on me. So I don't think everybody needs to get their ass whooped so terribly,
Right.
but I do think that adults need to control the situation where they are the adult, and kids don't feel like they can step up to
they're
the
equal.
adult's plate
I agree.
and say, "Oh, you can't beat me," or "You can't do this." Still, I am still your parent. I am still your elder, so you're not going to do
that's
certain
definitely
things.
difficult in foster situations because one, a lot of kids get their ass beat in foster.
Oh, yeah.
care,
That's a fact.
right? And then on top of that, foster parents really can't. Like, you think you can't beat your kids, foster parents ain't supposed to be beating their kids. So it's definitely like a difficult situation. You know what I'm saying? Because the answers is, you know how back in the day, if you got a beating, your mom probably used to say shit like, "Go ahead, call Dyfus, nigga."
Yeah.
I'll whoop their ass too.
Yo, she used to just be like,
Take
you wanna,
them out the house.
If you want to be raised in the system and not have Nintendo, that's on you.
all
You
threats.
know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's all, and it was. You know what I mean? But what I will say
They
is,
can't do that. No, that's one thing. Real quick, that's another flaw in the system because they can't do that no more. Now it's now we got parents that's scared because their kid know that they can call these people, lie on their mom, and the people gonna come and take the kid's side. And the kid is off the fucking chain.
Yeah, but that backfires on the kid though, because when they end up in that system, they realize how
It's
great
not
it
as
was
good.
at home.
But,
you know what I mean?
sometimes you gotta question the system and say, well, whose side are you really on when you attacking me for trying to motherfucking keep my kid out of the fucking system?
Right.
Whose side are you really on when you stop me from doing that? And then, like you said, it backfires on the kid. He ends up in the fucking system anyway. It's profit for that business.
Y'all looking at it from just the positive side. There's a lot of abuse going on in these households.
Well, no, and it's funny that you was about to say that's like.
Go ahead, run it.
Not for nothing. The reason why the system the way it is now because you have parents that literally beat their children to death and die. Like these kids legit are like abused to a whole nother
They don't
another
feed
level.
them.
They don't
It's not
feed
even
them.
just beating.
They're literally getting stored in little boxes and putting them in there, making them sleep, making them eat cat litter, and doing all these things, all these crazy things to kill their children. You know, that are like I don't think their intention is to kill, but that's their way of trying to discipline.
So they basically, you're saying they have to say, we can't grade every beating. We can't come in every house and grade every beating. What we gotta say is, you can't beat them. Period across the board.
Leave that belt on.
The belt is done because, and that makes sense, because it's like, these people over, you beat like this and they beat like this.
Yeah.
But we can't be grading the beatings. No beatings for nobody.
And what's crazy is that I've seen that and came across that where, like, just witnessed some shit where a kid was crazy. It was a crazy type joint, and people basically felt like that's how we do it.
Well, parents have to just be smarter now. When it comes to discipline, you don't have to beat your kids to get you can get a statement across.
Right here.
No, two things. I heard this white lady, she used to pull her kids' hair because she would say that the kids don't ever get bruises, so they can't go and tell.
Listen, you didn't hear that here.
Yes, not here.
Oh my
not here.
God.
I didn't say here.
No. Listen, that's not what I said. I said you didn't hear that on this show.
Yes, I said it because I heard it. And then the second thing is, me and my cousin was fighting one time, and you know what my aunt did? Instead of beating us, she said, hold each other's hands like this for a half an hour, and don't put your hands down. We had to hold our hands like this for a half an hour without moving. It was the torturous, most annoying thing. We never fought again. We didn't have to get beat for it.
And you know they'll lock you up for doing that now.
Yeah, that's
and
go ahead, Rich.
You know, because again, I work in this field. You know they'll lock a parent up for doing that now. For like, if you it's been situations.
Well,
and situations that I know, but I can't mention nothing about my job in particular because I just can't. But even on outside of that, I've seen on the news, I've seen situations where a parent do shit like that. They either doing it with like books, they doing all kinds of shit. I've heard of stories where the mom frustrated is just her and the boy. She take the boy downstairs with boxing gloves, all that shit. You're going to jail. They're gonna come press charges on you. They're gonna say you took it too far. It's torture damn near, or whatever it is that they say. And don't get me wrong. In some of those scenarios, like Wally said, I think it's right. Don't get me wrong. I'm not coming.
But you know how long it took, and this is the crazy part. A scenario like what Chelsea said and what you're saying, right? Having a child hold books, they'll lock them up instantly, right then and there, right? But then there's a kid that comes to school every single day. A patch here, y'all go check. The parents is like, nah, everything's cool, you know. The kid come again, he's not smelling cool. Like, it'll take months, and this kid is literally dying in months. And it'll take a whole year till the kid dies, and then now the parent it's crazy how the system is.
Look at the situation with my niece one time, right? My niece one time just being a kid, 14, 13, little boys out there, whatever. They probably like was playing tag, running around the street. Now I think they asked my niece to run around an alley or something. My niece ran through an alley and where we couldn't find her. She was like, and she came out of an alley. So of course, coming out of an alley, you like, oh, with another young guy, you like, hey, what the fuck is going on? You know, and I think she got like, I don't even know if she got hit, whatever. But some shit ended up happening where like somebody, you know, my niece was young at that time. She didn't really know any better. And she was influenced and encouraged by some people to call and lie and say that like, whatever, she was being like kind of like abused to a certain extent.
Oh,
you know,
wow.
and they told her that when you doing this, you will be able to come with us and we will be able to take you full time. Some more wild shit, right? And my mom was, you know, my mom was already like just dealing with enough with her by herself, trying to like just deal with my niece, you know, older lady, whatever, doing it. And I remember when I got called my mom was down at the police station because of this situation. My niece really called. She didn't know any better. You know, I love my niece to death. She didn't know no better. She called, did what a kid would do when they think they doing the right shit, right? And I went down there and I had to argue with the people from DIFAS because DIFAS was like, are y'all hitting her? I'm like, bro, my mom is really her grandmom and raised her because, you know, she had to. You know what I mean? She had some hard times. And why would anybody, I'm like, for instance, I'm like, this scenario that they talking about, the last scenario that I had with her, you know, and I told him, I explained to her, I said, my niece was like being misled by obviously some young kids. She's running through an alleyway. She's in alleyways with little kids. She's 13, 14. If I decide to pop my niece in the head and say, hey, don't do that. We don't do that. You know what I mean? On the back of the neck, whatever the case may be, as I give out my communication and talk to my people, I'm like, how do y'all tell me I can't do that and y'all don't never got no answer for what we can do and how can we prevent this? Because I'm telling y'all about the problem. I'm telling y'all that my niece was outside, 13 years old, running through, being led through alleys and encouraged, whatever, influence, whatever. And I'm telling y'all that if we had a problem with it, because my niece could end up dead, my niece could end up all kinds of shit, where like then it's gonna be fucking too late. Right? So my thing is,
give me the tools so I can do the right thing to help my niece.
Yeah, like and until then, I'm not bargaining with nobody. I'm not
because they don't got no tools.
Exactly.
Because they don't got no tools.
That's just like
that's what they want to do.
That's just like the fucking police. That's just like waiting for the fucking police to come fix and save everything in your fucking community.
Nope.
It's not gonna fucking happen. Area. You'll get fucking shot dead in a lot of situations.
They don't even have tools.
Waiting for that, right? And they don't even have all the answers. They trying to figure their shit out. Shout out to them, get it together.
They're using their guns. That's what they using.
My thing is this, like, we just gotta, like, and I'm not coming at nobody because I know it's difficult. We all humans. We all got our different fields that we work in and all that shit. But it's some flaws in all this shit.
Absolutely.
And we gotta be like kind of like respectable as humans at the end of the day and at the bottom line. I don't care if you work for the state and I work at Wawa.
Yep.
I'm still human, bro. I'm still human. These my kids. I live how I'm living, and I'm not doing no harm. I'm doing good and I'm protecting my family and my children. I just feel like ain't nothing wrong with that. You should be able to do that to the fullest extent without anybody really like intervening if you ain't doing no wrong.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
Yeah, nobody don't got the answer, Sway.
I think we gotta get ready to close this quote out with not having an answer to those fucking problems.
Nobody has the answer. So let me just go around the room real fast. Beating or no beating?
What will I beat my kid?
Spanking or no spanking?
Well, I'm gonna do like the slap or a tap, but I'm not gonna do like beating. Like my mom used to say, "Go get the belt," and if I brought her a belt that wasn't thick enough, she would make me go get another one.
That was the worst.
Right.
So I'm not gonna be beating, but I'm gonna be tapping that ass. Something.
Beating or no beating?
Freaky.
I'm talking about like.
Oh, kids, my bad.
Beating or no beating?
I'm gonna go with no beating. I'm a communicating type guy, man. I think I'll do better talking. I think I'll eventually like talking to work for me. I think I get through talking.
Take a good pluck in the head.
Beating. I already know what you're gonna say because your daughter's young. So let me hear what you're gonna say. Beating or no beating?
Yes.
I pat my daughter on the wrist when she's being out of pocket.
Beating. I'm a threatener.
He's a threatener.
He'll never beat his daughter.
Yeah,
she's gonna be right.
Ever.
She'll be in trouble.
I'm a ass whooper. So you know what I'm saying? I've beat my son with a loaf of bread before.
Loaf of bread.
What type of?
It was the closest thing right there. You know what I mean?
That was probably fun.
I mean, I'll try not to, but I feel like I grew up with violence, so I might end up like beating.
Grow up with violence.
Beating or no beating?
I would say no beating. I'm a very big communicator, so I know I can.
But what if they say "fuck out of here"?
Nah, they're not gonna be saying "fuck out of here."
Man, listen, man. I don't know what these niggas talking about. I don't know what these niggas talking about. I'm with beatings. It depends on what it is. Like I need scenarios. If my son do some shit that's like super out of pocket, he could get a beating.
You catch him disrespecting his mom. You catch him disrespecting his mom and he's out of pocket.
Disrespecting his mom in what way?
How?
So I'm gonna tell you.
Fuck you,
no. So I'm gonna tell you. When boys get, and I tell my girl this now because he's about to be 14. When you get all that testosterone in your body and you start feeling like, yo, I'm a man, that shit is crazy. You eating more, you feeling like somebody. When somebody says something to you,
it right now.
no, this is how you feel for real, because this happened to me. This happened to me. I got my ass whooped before. Without knowing my manly response, my mom's said something to me, and I'm listening, and my hands is down at my side. So you know that Arthur meme where him with a ball fist?
Yeah.
My fist ball, right? At my side. My mom said, did you just ball your fist up? No. You just balled your motherfucking fist? Come here. Bop, 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 bop. I got that ass whooping. You feel what I'm saying? I got that ass whooping for something that happened naturally. I tell my girl, those times are coming when you talk to him and his man thing activates in his body where he be like, it's not a who you talking to, but he gonna start feeling like
pumping up his chest.
Exactly. And the day I see that pump up his chest in his mom's face, because boys go through the thing where they get in their mom's face on some, I could stand height to height with you. I'll whoop his ass, bro. Man, straight up. No. I'm gonna keep it clear. I'm gonna be clear.
I ain't gonna hold you. My son get pumps up sometimes when I be like saying certain shit to him, but I ain't gonna hold you. I look at it, he be mad as a motherfucker. And that's why I say, I ain't gonna hold you. I be thinking like, man, this motherfucker gonna be 18 one day. I know I'm getting older. I'll come back and explain, like, listen, champ, you know I love you. Man, my son already got trauma K. You know I love you, boy. Be easy, we got this.
Yeah. So in certain situations, if I saw him doing something that was getting him into trouble with the law, and I feel like I need to express myself in that way with him for him to know, dad feel this passionate about this. I'm not just passively going to let my son end up in the streets or something like that, going about it in this passive way. So in certain different extremes, other than that, I'm still I take shit away from him. The worst thing I ever did to him was smash his PlayStation on the concrete. And then he dropped to his knees, boy. You know what I'm saying? Like what else?
And now he got the newest one.
No, he had the real, he cried the same way they said, Ricky! Like, I swear to God.
Nah, but you could Google those type of situations and you'll see some crazy shit.
No. I put it like this.
When they break the kid's game.
I might have told you this before. I had to keep a strong face because I felt like sad when I saw the pain that he went through.
Yeah.
I didn't want that response. So I'm soft. You feel what I'm saying?
There you go. So those at home, as we close out, I recommend whoop their ass, break a PlayStation, talk to them, but do it out of, love, right? Make sure you communicate the love, man.
So look, this has been the Talk Heavy Devinwade Show mashup. And when I say talk heavy, this episode was talking heavy. We covered like 3 different real major things.
Respectfully. Respectfully.
As respectfully as possible, because there's still going to be people of certain communities that if you want to listen selectively, there's nothing I could do for you. You have to understand that people are creating a dialogue to talk about something, and trying to be as respectful as possible, but are posing their questions. And when it comes to the thing with the kids at the end, there's always going to be people that type the politically correct thing. Meanwhile, he's smacking the shit out of his son. You know what I mean? Smacking his son down the steps, then jumping on there with the bullshit. So, check yourselves, look in the mirror, be happy with, what you want to do in the home. You know what I'm saying? But for myself, for motherfucking Chelsea Lee, the best DJ in the motherfucking world, you know what I'm saying? Look.
Amen.
Porter.
I just want to get you good.
For Porter Rich, the moan inspirer. Shout
out to the people, man.
For Waleska D.
Thank you, beautiful people.
And for our nasty girls, I'm Sin and Angelina. And of course, for the talk heavy brothers who always take our show to the darkest places. Listen, some of the darkest places. If y'all heard the conversation before the show started,
It was a great pod.
Oh my God.
Booker T and Baby Loaf.
Yeah, they out of control, man. But we appreciate y'all watching. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And make sure that y'all go watch the Talk Heavy podcast, because they keep the controversial stuff like this every week, man.
All day.
For all of us, man, peace.